Hi guys, my name's Alex and welcome to my channel. So in this video I'll be giving you an honest review of the University of Nottingham and giving you my personal experience. I'm a second year classics student, so I'm in my second year now. Obviously coronavirus hit this year, so this academic year has been really boring. It's just a lot of studying at home, a lot of mental health struggles. But what I'll be discussing is my first year at the university to help all you potential students applying now. So my first impression of the university was the vastness. The campus is absolutely huge. I think it's one of the biggest in the UK, and so it was quite hard getting around the campus when I arrived at university. It was a big shock for me coming to university. You know, I've never been the sort of person that gets homesick or worried about seeing different places. But I mean, when you move to a different city, especially when you've lived in one city your entire life, it is a big culture shock. Especially being a northerner in Nottingham, there's a lot more southerners, especially at the university. I mean, on my course, I don't know another northerner. They're all southern. I know a few people from Birmingham, but that's as close to home as it gets really. A lot of people from Chester, Sussex, Hertfordshire, just down south places, which is great because I've got to meet people that I wouldn't usually mingle with. There is a culture difference in the UK, you know, it's definitely noticeable from south to north, but that's cool. My personal experience of halls is a weird one because I didn't actually go in halls, so I don't have any experience of it directly. So I came through clearing, actually. I changed my mind at the last minute to come to Nottingham. And so the halls were taken, so I went in private accommodation last minute with some master's students. It was awesome. So there was two master's students, I believe, and then there was two third years, and one girl that had come from France for a year abroad. There was really kind people, but as a first year, I didn't really have that sort of party atmosphere with them. You know, like a lot of my friends were having in halls, drinking all the time, etc. But I did get out quite a bit, and the nightlife in Nottingham is absolutely awesome, and there's some great clubs. I quite like my indie music, you know, rock, things like that. So there's quite an abundance of bars that offer that genre and clubs. Rock City being one of the favourites. Which is, the clubs here are massive, they're awesome, they're a good vibe. Drinks are reasonably priced, it's a cheap city to live in overall. Rent can be a bit high when you go into your second and third year when you go private, especially, you notice that hike, but you can shop around and get a really good deal. Now the university itself, it's got a very large campus, so you know, getting around, like I say, was difficult. But after the first few weeks, I got used to that. I found out where I was going. There's a great hopper bus system at the university, which allows students to get to A to B quite easily, which was so helpful in the beginning. They have the timetable online, and they run all over the student areas of the city too. So like Lenton, and places like that where a lot of students live. So if you are looking at getting a private accommodation, that's definitely something to look into. They are free with your university student card. So again, it's just a great way of getting around the campus. But I'm a bit of a fat boy, so at the end of the first year I decided to start walking everywhere because I wanted to get my steps in and not be lazy, which was to no avail because I couldn't stop eating. So hey ho, it is what it is. So yeah, my lectures have been really insightful. My lecturers have all been awesome. I think most of them studied at Cambridge and Oxford, or Oxford, not and they're really insightful people. Some have been a bit dry and a bit boring, but it's how I learn. I'm more of a hands-on visual learner, and of course, like I'm doing classics, it is very much an academic talk at you subject, and it can be quite a dry subject. But I found them quite engaging, and the slides are quite engaging. As well as that, my tutors have always been really helpful if I have any questions of the material or need any mental or physical support. I mean, this year I've really struggled with my mental health. It's been detrimental. I've had a bit of a depression pit. I've been, you know, to the point I rang doctors for help. But there was a really nice lecturer I have who really helped me out. I got ECs for some essays that I didn't do very well in because of my lack in mental health, which was really good. You know, they consider everything seriously. If you've actually experienced any hardship, the university will help you, and that's, you know, whether that's financial, mental, or physical. You know, if you break your leg, you'll get support. If there's hardship funds available, if you do, you know, if you don't have any money and you can't afford food, and that was another big shock for me is budgeting. Now, I'm a guy that doesn't really look at prices. You know, back home, if I see something I want or want to buy, I'd usually just buy it. You know, so actually budgeting to pay rent, buy food, and then having money left for recreation has been hard. I mean, I have a bit more money than most students because I do have a couple of side hustles on the go. But like I say, once you factor in your rent, which eats up most of your loan, and then your food, you do need to budget that bit extra you have for recreation. And I mean, students here, they tend to live quite well because it is a relatively cheap city. Um, and a lot of prinking, a lot of after parties. I mean, in first year though, I wasn't actually in halls. I spent a lot of my time in halls at parties and gatherings. The halls seem really nice, clean, quite spacious. The ones that I've been in, I believe the main ones was there was a couple on campus and St Peter's Court. St Peter's Court, yeah, that's really nice student accommodation. It's privately done, but endorsed by the university. But yeah, that's a nice one at a good price too. It's right next to the university. There's a co-op available literally next door, so it's really handy. Moreover, on the campus, there's a food court. There's restaurants available in nearly every accommodation which any student can go into. They sell food, they sell drinks. It's basic food, you know, like pub grub sort of food. They sell drinks, every drink you want. You know, when you like a gin, man, they've got great gin menus. I spent a lot of time with them gym menus, crying about work that I was struggling with. There's a great cafe on the campus as well, coffee shop. Awesome. If you need to study and you can't get motivated, if you're someone like me, I'm never motivated at home, so getting out of the house is a really big deal. So I'll go in the cafe, sit down, plug my laptop in, get typing. Really tranquil area, loads of students there. Great to make new friends there as well. You know, everyone's quite chatty here. Everyone's very open. It's a good mix of north and south, to be honest, because in my city everyone's really friendly. Down south, you know, you don't really speak to randomers, but at the university here, everyone is quite talkative, quite open, very friendly, and there's a lot of culture at the University of Nottingham as well. There's a lot of students from different countries with different backgrounds. You know, there's a lot of Asian students, a lot of Middle Eastern students. There's a lot of students from all over the world, really. You know, I love that. You know, because I love learning about different people. I love interacting with people that are from a different background to me. And I love learning from them. I love teaching them things too. So I think that's amazing. And especially as your first time away from home, not only do you experience the different city or living alone, you experience all these amazing people that if you was from a small town or village, you'd never ever have the chance of meeting, which is awesome. And for those of you that do live in villages and haven't had like the chance to go out clubbing or to bars yet, man, you're in luck here. Like I say, it's very different from a small town or small city. And yeah, modes of transport in Nottingham, transport is amazing. Whether you're using the Hopper bus or not for university, the bus system here is impeccable. 2 or 3 minutes, a new bus will be there. You know, so getting a bus pass is a really feasible option. Uber runs here. It's quite well priced. It's not too expensive. So on nights out, I always get Ubers just because they're more convenient. I do believe there's a night bus and a night tram. There's a tram system here as well. But for me, I stick to my Ubers because I just like to get from A to B, and it's cheap. It's like £3 or £4. If you're with a couple of friends, you know, £1 each to get home. It's perfect, really. So yeah, I've had quite a good first year. It was quite good. Lectures awesome. People were awesome. Nightlife was awesome. Yeah, it was a good fun. It was a good time at university. However, COVID hit and all that went. So I'm still here now. Sadly, I haven't gone home. And you know, all my friends are back home now because it's all online. And it's been quite a horrible year. The university didn't put a safety net in place like other universities did. That was in line with Russell Group regulations. Most Russell Group universities didn't put a safety net in, though some did, like Manchester. And it's a shame they didn't put that safety net in because I know a lot of students that really have struggled this year and could have got better grades, but sadly, because of the lack of support, that didn't happen, which did disappoint me quite a lot, especially when I've seen friends that had firsts or first year now, you know, getting high 2.2s, sometimes low 2.2s, when they're capable of doing much better. It hurts because our classifications are going to be affected. But anyhow, if you're a prospective student, that doesn't matter to you. So I'm just you know, rambling about that bit of criticism. But yeah, overall it's a great university, very friendly, very inclusive. The people here haven't got egos from what I've met. Everyone's kind. There's not many people that are like, oh, I'm so smart. Oh, look at me, I'm so good. Like you get at other universities, for instance. I have friends at Durham, and yeah, Durham people are meant to be quite arrogant, so to speak, but they are Oxford rejects, so what do you expect? What do you expect? I have friends at Exeter as well, and they say Exeter is not very inclusive, white boy university. You know, if you're posh white, you go to Exeter, happy days. If you're from a different demographic or you're poor, you don't go to Exeter because you just don't. But yeah, University of Nottingham are really inclusive, really kind, and I would recommend coming to this university. You know, it's helped me grow as a person. It's definitely been better moving away from home, and I don't have much fault with the lectures. The campus is amazing, and there's everything there. Facilities are awesome. Transport's awesome. It's a university that has really not much criticism, you know. The only thing I would say is, you know, getting lost on campus the first few weeks, and sometimes there can be a bit slow responding to any AECs or any questions you have if you do speak to student services. But again, it's a very large university, so it's to be expected. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. It's my first video on the channel. It's a bit of a ramble. But if you did enjoy it, subscribe. I'll be doing a multitude of videos on travel, studying and lifestyle. I'm currently on a fitness journey myself, fat boy to fit boy. Hopefully I'll get fit, you know, I'm trying my hardest here. So yeah, hope to see you next year.